Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, nothing says I love you like a homemade Valentine. Here to show us how to make one extra special, we welcome back author of several books, including Botanical Line Drawing, artist and educator, Peggy Dean. Peggy, great to see you.
Great to see you.
There's your book right there. Now, you have an idea for cards that we can make as cute as this one and this one.
We can draw and we can craft, so let's draw our craft.
Okay,
I didn't practice that. But
and I love the flowers because they're so pretty.
Here's what I like about it is when we, as we've talked about in time, we can draw simple lines and they can be so scratchy, and then adding color and then cutting just really, really close to the edges. I wanted to show the steps because then it's a matter of like, let's create a bouquet together where we can form everything together.
And then you have the whole 3D effect with the ribbon.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just these little things that add so much fun. So I felt like we could draw together and sketch one out. I'm going to give you this one.
This one?
It's a good...
Or sketch it out on here?
Yeah, and so any flower really, and you know what I was thinking is these simple flowers, I think that when we learn how to draw flowers, we constantly go to this situation.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like what happens is the petals get smaller and smaller and smaller the whole way around.
That's true.
You know, so the first thing that I like to think about is when we draw a flower, we can shape it, the petal however we want, and then if we skip to the other side, offset it maybe if you don't want it to be perfectly centered, we can start thinking about the actual edges.
Oh, okay.
And thinking about how to balance it, and then we have a better eyeball on it and we can balance as needed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then if you want to tuck some behind, then you can just have a little peekaboo, maybe a little peekaboo. And the thing about nature is that it's not perfect, and so it can be really fun and
Yeah.
And then what I love doing that I think really brings it to life, it could be the wonkiest shape in the world, but as soon as you start adding these lines to it.
Oh, it does something, doesn't it? Yeah.
It really does. And I just skip a few areas. I try to do like a wisp so that it's not quite even. And then you have some different lengths and they just kind of go with the edges of the petals, but I do it kind of fast.
That works.
It does.
Yeah.
And then with
now we need our stem.
Yeah, with the stem, I just like to kind of do an imperfect and then bring it close and just kind of, it's just as simple as it sounds. And while I like to add leaves to flowers, in this case I've been doing them separately. I have one that's together, but I think that it's fun because it adds all the texture behind. Yeah. And then you can go with that. So my favorite to grab are like lighter colors. Okay. Because then you can overlap them, and when we add...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because these are just water-based markers. I mean, anything goes. Crayola. These ones in particular have a brush tip, and with these, I mean, you can see the streaks. I personally love marker streaks. I know it's not for everybody, but I love them. I think that it adds so much character and that like hand-drawn element. But then with anything that overlaps on these petals, we can peekaboo behind there and just go over it again and see how it just darkens it. And so that adds additional depth.
Oh, I see.
And it's just something really simple. You could also do that on these pens have another side. It's a little bullet tip, which is nice. And you can go over just the line area, which also adds some depth to it.
Wow, look at that.
And yeah, it just brings it to life more. One of my favorite things that I didn't do in this is to add color to some elements, like basically leave some unfinished.
Oh, I see.
Because it's just
making it look like it's white.
Yeah, it makes it more interesting, I think. And then when we cut these out, it's just a matter of staying really close to the edges. Of course, I only brought one pair of scissors.
That's
so
okay.
You get to color.
I tell you what, those are some cool scissors.
Aren't they? I think everyone needs a pair of gold scissors in their life, yes.
That and a gold bathroom, I understand, is like the thing.
Is it? A gold bathroom?
A toilet. I am just joking. I have no clue.
Helen's like, meanwhile at home.
Yeah.
With my gold
Me and my
paper.
gold toilet.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's like in your guest bathroom downstairs. People come over. Okay, so once that's done, then we can take all of these elements, and after we cut them out, and then you can see how, I guess I'm feeling purple today, then you can you know, finished is finished, but imagine if these leaves were, you know, one was white or maybe some of it was showing. I
Sure.
think that could be a fun idea. It's just interesting. It's
so
like,
how did you,
yes.
you show us how to put it on while I attempt to cut out my
Look at
pink
how
flower.
imperfect though. It
Okay,
really,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I use these because I'm very lazy. They're just the glue runners, but you could use glue, you could use double-sided tape. This just makes things so much faster. And really, I only dab a few spots. And you could keep the bottom of the stem open, but it really doesn't matter because you can lift it back up. But then once everything is in place, I will lift them all up and cut a little ribbon, and then my tip would be to make the ribbon longer than it needs to be because it will
Then
be
you
much
can
easier.
you can trim it up, right?
Yes, it will
Okay.
be much easier to handle when you create a bow because let me tell you what, if it is too short,
Then you're stuck.
ooh, it is not very fun. And then you're going over and over. Okay, so
Okay, I'm gonna try.
you got it.
I love these little gadgets you have. They're so fun.
You know, it's like you do something long enough and then someone introduces you to a gadget.
That you're like, oh, this is the way to go, right?
Exactly. Like, why didn't
know.
I have this in my life
Right?
3 months or 3 years ago?
Someone introduced me to acrylic pens.
Oh yeah, the
And I
paint
was like-
pens.
Like, well, how come I didn't know about this before?
I know, and it's great to touch up too.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you have any leftover glue, the nice thing about these strips is that you can just
Rub it
roll
off.
it off. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great.
Which makes
Yeah,
things.
because I was kind of messy here. Okay.
Oh, I am as
okay,
well.
So that's just my one there. But look.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then when you add things and then you layer them, this one has glue on it. You see what I mean? How
Yeah.
fun is that?
Yeah, great ideas. Let's take a look at, again, oh, look at that. They look great. We want to remind everyone you have a number of books out, but the one we're working with today is Botanical Line Drawing. Peggy Dean, thank you so much. Always great to see you. I hope you have a good Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Yeah, that's fun.
It is fun.